There are two types of software most companies ascribe to use in their business. You have free and you have paid. The question is, which one are you using for your business? Or which one do you plan to use for your business? Hello everyone, and welcome to this episode of Recruit Tech on the Wealth Bankers Career Channel. I'm your host Nana K, and today we're going to be having a simple versus battle between free and paid software. So the question is, free and paid software, which is better for your business? Now, the reason why this topic came up was due to a discussion that a few friends and I had concerning my very recent video that talked about 5 free productivity software that you should use for your business. And in the discussion, some of the things that came up were the fact that, well, the software may be free, but does that mean that it's optimized for your business, or that is what your business you would need in your business? There were so many questions that were raised, and in the end I just sat down and thought, why don't I just pose it to you guys? Why don't I create a video that is going to educate most of you about the different types of software out there and how best they can impact your business. So without much ado, let's begin. So free software, what are they? So for this particular video, for this particular interaction I'm having with you guys, the free software is going to include free and open source software. So what is free software? Well, it's a type of software you don't have to pay any money to use. So as the name suggests, it's free. You don't pay anything for it. Sometimes there are some free types of software that probably you would have to pay something for. Or there are free versions of paid software, but some of these software have been reduced in terms, or have reduced number of features, or have been toned down from the original. So if you want to have more, you pay to have that upgrade so that you can have all the features. So these are the type of software that I'm going to be talking about under free. And for paid software, I'm going to be talking about all the software that you know that we pay for. So some of the very popular ones like Adobe Photoshop, you have Autodesk Maya, Microsoft Office, and so on and so on. So we're just going to weigh the two of them. I mean, before we jump right in, or before we get to the crux of it, let me know in the comment section below, which would you go for, or which do you think is more ideal if you are running a business? Do you think the free option is good, or do you think the paid option is good? If you think the free option is good, what are the reasons why you think the free option is good? And if you think the paid options are good, why do you think the paid options are also that good? So let's jump right to it. So the free software, as the name suggests, they are free to use and own. For the open source alternatives, the software, the source code is available online for you to actually tamper with, make modifications to. I mean, they're all there for you, but the thing is, you can use those software for free. Paid software in this regard, I'm going to refer to Microsoft Office Suite, which usually costs anywhere between $300 to $400 to own. And I mean, it's quite expensive if you're going to look at it that way. Some of the arguments I keep hearing people is usually between Microsoft Office and LibreOffice. Now a lot of times people will tell you that LibreOffice can do virtually everything Microsoft Office can. So why would I pay over $400 to use Microsoft Office when I can get LibreOffice for free? It's a valid argument. Some people will tell you that, well, you need to pay that amount of money because Microsoft Office gives you so much more features and functionality than LibreOffice would give you. But then the question then becomes, the additional features in Microsoft Office, how often do we use them? How often would you use them in your business? If it's something you don't use often, or you hardly ever use, then obviously you might consider going for a free version. But some people attach so much to a named brand. They attach so much feeling and emotions to a named brand or a popular brand out there. so they wouldn't consider another option. And certain people perceive free things to be inferior. That's not really the case. And so as much as free software are free, it doesn't mean that they are inferior by any stretch of the imagination. Another argument certain people put out there is that there isn't proper support for free software as against going for a paid or commercial software. And in this instance, it's a very valid point. If you take something like Microsoft Word, Microsoft Office, or probably Autodesk Maya or Adobe Photoshop, there are new updates coming up every single time. And so these updates, some of them are security patches, some of them are bug fixes, some of them are upgrades and improvements on the existing software. And if you have a problem with the software, you can actually reach out to the people that created it for support and help. So they will be able to assist you fix all those problems. As against free software. Now, some people believe that, and it's not a case of some people believe, most often it's the case, that you find free software and you won't really find support for it because, well, the developer who created it is just putting it out there for free. So if you run into any problems, the only thing that you can do is probably reach out to other people who have had similar problems with the software to help you resolve your issue. Now, that's one downside to using a free software as against paid or commercial software, but that does not mean that there aren't free software out there, free and open source software out there that do not provide support. The support may not necessarily come in terms of the company person, but some software do have a huge community out there which are consistently providing support services, not necessarily direct support, but would help you in case you encounter any problem. So paid software has support, free software doesn't, but it's not always the case. The fact that free software doesn't have support in the normal sense or in the widely used sense does not mean that there isn't support for it out there. Another argument a lot of people make is that, well, there are a lot of free software out there that come bundled with hardware. There are so many ads and so many, you are forced to sometimes install unnecessary things that you don't need. It's true. And they'll tell you that instead of going for something that has so many ads, I'd rather go in for a paid option. And with that, I get only what I paid for. I'm getting only the app. So if I'm paying for something like Adobe Photoshop, that is all I am getting. I am not getting it bundled with any other thing or whatever. I'm just getting Photoshop and that is it. Unlike certain applications, when you install them, it comes with so many toolbars, so many unnecessary things, and all these things you don't have use for them. You just need one software, but you have to install a whole suite of software, and it doesn't really help your cause. Another thing that people talk about is that, well, free software sometimes do come with limited features and functionality. In most cases, it's not true. So let's take a typical application like Blender, which is a 3D modeling software. Now, Blender is free and open source, but it doesn't mean that it is packed with less features than its nearest or its biggest competitor, which is Maya and 3ds Max. Blender has a huge support and a huge community that consistently provides it with new features, new updates and all that. And as of the recording of this video, the latest version of Blender is Blender 2.79. If you're going to go by the little that we've seen from Blender 2.8, as in terms of its showcase, it's a joy to behold. I can honestly say that something like Blender is going to give Maya and 3ds Max a run for their money. So it doesn't always mean so. Yes, it can mean some of the free software are limited in features and functionality. And one such example is, say, Paint.net. I mean, you can't compare Paint to Photoshop, not by a stretch of imagination. There are two varying things. Even though Paint is supposed to be doing what Photoshop does, it does not have the kind of features and functionality that Photoshop does. The kind of things that Photoshop can do, you cannot do it with Paint or GIMP. Even though you can do a lot of stuff with them, you can't do all of the things that Photoshop can do. So another issue has to do with security. I keep hearing people talking about security. Is it safe to use a software? Is it safe to use an application that is free? Well, there are question marks. Sometimes you download a free software to use, and by virtue of installing it, you run into a lot of problems. Some of them are bundled with malware, and so it's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't trust free software. It doesn't mean that free software are bad in any way. There are a lot of free software out there that are good and don't come with any malware or anything, and your security, it doesn't compromise your computer security in any way or form. Most of the arguments made for free and paid are very valid, but whichever one you go in for depends on your business. So if you are a startup, I mean you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of resources at your disposal, then it would be ideal for you to go in for a free option. So if you want an office suite to use, instead of paying $400 or so for Microsoft Office, if you know you don't have the resources, you can easily go in for an alternative like LibreOffice, or you could use online alternatives like Google Docs and the OpenOffice and a whole lot of others. If you want to go into image editing, photo editing, all those things, and you don't have the money to go and buy or pay for monthly subscriptions for something like Adobe Photoshop, then you can go in for Paint.net or GIMP. They are all good alternatives. Whichever one you decide to use for your business is entirely up to you. You just need to know what your business wants. You just need to know what your business needs. If you have the resources, nothing stops you from actually purchasing a paid option. But if you don't have that many resources, or you don't have much money in your account, or probably you're just starting out with little fund, then obviously your best option is to go for the free. But that said, I wouldn't say that free is better than paid or paid is better than free. They both have their pros, both have their cons. It's just like I said, it's just dependent on you as an individual or you as a business. What do you want to use the software for? There are a lot of them that can boost your productivity. A lot of free software can boost your productivity just as much as the paid options can. So in the end, it comes down to you. I don't know what your preference is. I don't know what you use for your business. But let me know what you use or which options you would go for in the comment section below. Personally, I use a couple of free software as well as a few paid software. These are all essential in my level of productivity. So let me know in the comment section below what you think and what you use. Don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to our channel for more great content. Until next time. Salute.